How's it going, guys? It's Cass. So I thought I'd make a quick little update video talking through my day one, talking about the build, talking about mercs, and then talking about some of the transition stuff to hopefully help answer some potential questions. So for my day one, I've played right around 13 hours. It's basically day one, started day two for me. And this character is only using gear that I've either taken off of mercs or that I've found on the grounds, except for the 5 link, which I purchased for like 2C. I got my pconc of bouncing in my first lab, which is extremely lucky. If you are still without a pconc of bouncing, I would personally suggest just running Merc Lab until you get this. Make sure that you're going for Dark Shrines to try to get as many Divine Font uses as you can. If you get a double Divine Font Dark Shrine, you basically guarantee yourself a free lab run. That's the way that I like to think about it anyway. In my testing, it normally takes like an hour or two to get pconc of bouncing. Right now, pconc of bouncing is like 20 to 25C. So it's probably worth it just to do on your own, so you're not wasting that early currency, so you can invest more into either gear or just holding down currency in your stash. For currently right now, I have a divine and 112 chaos, so pretty good for day one, day two for me. Realistically, I'm kind of playing a little casually. I've been watching a lot of the Counter-Strike majors, so I haven't been focusing a ton on gameplay, kind of been just autopiloting for the most part. I have both Void Stones, 80 completion. The build in general has felt very strong. There isn't too much to talk about build-wise, just basically following the POB. I haven't gone for Ice Fang Orbit yet. I might consider just skipping it and going for Aznats plus Athema early. We'll talk about those prices in a bit, but let's talk about mercs. So this is the merc that I am currently using. It's a pretty, I would say, average to slightly above average merc. The biggest thing that I've noticed is evasion-based mercs are very good because they have a ton of evasion. They die a lot less. This guy hasn't died a single time, even in T16s, which is super good. On top of that, Grace Aura is very nice for this build. One of the things is that you will get hit a lot when you don't have a source of evasion. So having Grace Aura on your merc is very good. This merc also gives me Wither on hits through Cobra Lash and Withering Step, which is nice. And then we have Abyssal Cry. I think this is an alt quality of one, but basically it just makes enemies explode, and it's chaos based. So you'll hear some pops with this guy ever so often because of the war cry as well, which is pretty good. I would say this is a slightly above average merc. The damage that he does isn't that great, but what he provides is pretty strong. And if you can get a merc that just has Grace plus Withering Step, a lot of the times they'll have an extra skill with Wither on hit as well, and that'll be more than enough for most players. Aside from that, again, my gear is all just stuff that I've picked up off the ground or from mercs, nothing too crazy here. Mercs are an incredibly good source for any type of gear. They have a bunch of very good and decent rolled gear, and they also have some very strong gear. So I would suggest taking the time to make sure that you always look at the types of gear that your mercs have. I've put a ton of pieces that I've taken off of a merc into a 5C dump tab and made pretty good consistent money just by selling that. On top of that, obviously the currency that mercs have is very good too. There are some mercs that this build is not good for. That was my Steam notification. There are some mercs that this build is not good for. The physical based mercs have been absolutely destroying me. And that's honestly basically it. When you have a good merc with you, it makes it much easier to fight the other mercs since it's basically a 2-on-1. So I would suggest obviously trying to get a good merc as soon as you can. Now let's hit on actual progression. So at this point, my My skill tree is pretty similar to what's in the POB. There's been a few things that I've pushed away towards. I added vitality just to make my consistency with blood rage uptime feel a little bit better, so I wasn't dejetting when I wasn't leeching. So I took these mana notes, and I have yet to get to Whispers of Doom, and honestly I might just say screw it and invest into Asnaths plus Anathema and then go away from this setup. But for the time being, it's pretty similar to what you'll see in the POB. The main thing is you want to make sure you're getting a chance to suppress Lucky as soon as you can. And then obviously once you cap spell suppress, you don't have to worry about that. I haven't gone for more flash sustain yet, but you can definitely go for flash sustain much earlier. I have noticed some situations where I'm fighting bosses and I don't have flask uptime, which is kind of annoying, but at the same time, you have so much leech, you have so much recovery. For the most part, you can just stand there and just continue to do damage and be perfectly fine. Another thing to point out is, I was thinking about it and then I forgot. When I actually go about doing the full respec, I will take these nodes away. These nodes are still pretty strong into the early endgame, middle endgame, so I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, that's pretty much it for that. I feel like I'm missing something, but oh well, if I remember it, I will leave a comment for it. But anyway, that's the general idea for the tree. For the most part, I am following just the layout itself. Okay, I actually did remember it. The leech nodes, I took away these leech nodes and put in these leech nodes. Not a massive change, nothing to really worry about. I just wanted more instant leech for mana recovery, so that's why I switched these around. Basically, just one extra point for instant leech, which still feels pretty nice on, even though it's nerfed to 5%. But yeah, aside from that, let's talk about actual scaling for this. Right now, pconc bouncing is 20C. I would suggest just farming at the lab, like I said earlier. Anathema is 20C as well. And then Gentle Touch, Asnaths are right around 70 to 80C. The cheapest I've seen them is 65. I think tomorrow they'll probably go down to like 50C, unless a lot of people start using them for their mercs. So right now, the barrier of entry to more of like the super endgame version of this build is probably close to like 100C. So nothing too crazy, especially for day 2. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I plan on just continuing to finish my Atlas. I'm kind of rambling at this point because I don't remember if I even said how far I am. I have 80 points, 2 Watchstones. We're like 13 hours in, so not too bad. My plan, finish the Atlas, start getting more towards my farming strategy. I'm probably just going to do Syndicate plus Harvest, but we'll see. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Once I actually do the respec, the full respec, I'll probably make another update video, most likely tomorrow or the next day. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure you get a good merc, and you should be zooming.